VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch SarahSpiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing now. Won't you change and open your heart? Open your heart.
Open your heart right here on VCMG on the Oldie Station. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we're so happy to be connecting with all of you all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And here, we're going to talk tonight about being in a mind trap. Are you caught in a trap? Does your mind keep going and going and going? Are you one of those people who says things for other people in your mind? Do you actually have conversations with people? There's a song that I always hear in my head. Everybody is talking at me. I don't hear a word they're saying, only the echoes of my mind. It's just this going on and on and on. Have you ever thought about what someone else was thinking, and then you have this conversation, this dialogue in your mind about what their thoughts are regarding the story that you're in. And you're actually anticipating what they're going to say. And then you come to find out that their story is nothing like what you imagined. Let's talk about the girl and the guy that are dating. But he says, I'll call you Friday, but he doesn't. So right away, the mind gets a-going. Come on, ladies. Have you ever put yourself in that place of your mind's wondering, why didn't he call me? He should have called me. He must be out with his friends. Perhaps he's with his sisters. Maybe he's here. Maybe he's there. You start to go through all these scenarios in your mind. And then you have that conversation in your head of you picking up the phone to ask him what's going on. I thought you said that you were going to call me and you didn't call me. And you're assuming, and we know what they say about assumptions, you're assuming that he's got a story that's far from the truth. Because you in your mind are playing a storyline that perhaps is familiar to you, something you've already experienced, something that is a fear, something that is a hiccup in your life, or an insecurity. So you begin to think for other people. How many times have you thought for other people? You looked at someone and you thought what it was like to be them. You thought what they should do instead of what they were doing. You questioned why they were doing things out in their yard, for instance. Like, why are they doing that? Don't they know better? We don't do it that way in this neighborhood. Like, you have these conversations in your mind, and you're constantly putting yourself in other people's energy and thoughts, because through your human mind, you're observing something, and it is triggering a memory. It is triggering something inside of you that makes you feel like you need to break free from something. So you're projecting into someone else's universe, into their energy. And we begin to put ourselves in these storylines of other people. Now, here's the catch. Much of what goes on in our mind has been programmed. It's a series of experiences and things that we have been told in our life that are building up over time, and this is what our mind is pulling from. It is pulling these files of past experiences and triggering and reminding you of things that have happened before. And a lot of the self-talk that you have, and most of us are not very kind to ourselves in our self-talk, is a talk that has already been fed to you through what other people have said to you or about you, or you've heard them say of others. So you assume, here we go back to assume and assumptions, you assume that they're thinking the same of you. And we become caught in a trap of what we think is not possible, and actually a series of projected thinking, negative thinking, and we're taking ourselves out of our power when we do that. When you take yourself out of your human power, the soul power of the human, it is so difficult to break the patterning of the past. Your power lies in your ability to follow the guidance from within and silence the mind chatter that is a continual, repetitious expression of memories, experiences, and observations that are being taken in by the human eyes and being projected into your memory banks, and then you are processing that. So in the processing experience, you are selecting things to focus on. So what are you focusing on? Where is your intention? Your intention may be on, I want a new job, or I'd love to have a better life. I'm looking for a partner. I'm looking to find more peace in my life. Perhaps you need to take better care of your health. But if you're always focusing on the things that aren't right, perhaps you have a health issue. Now, I'm not saying positive thinking and the reassignment of thoughts is going to cure your body, but it's going to help. And eventually it will assist in the curing, because the mind is a powerful thing. It's just we're wasting all that power. We're wasting that power by observing what other people are doing that we don't like. What if you focus all of that mind attention to things that we desire, to things that we like? What if we focus our mind on the things that we love about ourselves, on the things that bring us joy? What if we focus our attention on what is beautiful around us and release the things from the past? Because the past is only here to serve to show you where you've been, and for you to measure how far you've come, and for you to learn things, but then not hold on to the thoughts of what didn't work out right and then beat yourself up over it, or hold blame or judgment of another. It is for you to say, all right, great. This is where I was. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let that go to make room for a new thought, for a new line in my life, because my life is worthy of something greater than that experience. Because many of us, well, what do? We think of all the things that we could have done differently, right? I have a list of things that are like, oh, I should have done this differently. And we hang on to that. So that list, what I've learned to do is to take that list and go, all right, that was then and this is now. And in this moment of now, I'm creating something new for myself. I'm focusing my intention, my attention on something powerful. I no longer want to subscribe to the concerns of the past, regardless of what it was, whether it was personal, financial, whatever was disrupting me. I had to take my attention from that. I didn't bury it and act like an ostrich and put my head in the sand so my woo-woo was hanging up. No, I had to be sure that I put all of my focus on something different than where I had been, because my thoughts were not lining up properly, and that's why I had attracted and created some things that didn't work the way I wanted them to. This is the journey of life. We have all been in that experience. We have all had that experience. But for you, the journey now is to look at where you are at this moment of time and what is caught in your mind, what is like a trap that is repeating itself and holding you victim to a story that you are choosing to be victim of. Where is the trap? Is it something that has to do with you as a person? Do you not like yourself? Is there something you want to change you haven't been able to change? Is it a current circumstance? Is it where you are? Is it your job? Is it the people around you? Is it your partner? What is trapping you? And what is the story that you're telling yourself that's not allowing you to move forward to change? And then we have to rewire the brain. We have to literally rewire it. You know, when a house gets old, they have to replace things. And there comes a certain time with some of the older houses, they need a new electrical box. Now, from what I understand, that's a big production. And it's not exactly a cheap thing to do. But we need to rewire because those wires have become fray. They are old. They no longer can carry the current of energy. They need to be upgraded. Don't we upgrade our phones regularly, our computers? Aren't we always upgrading? Why is it that we don't upgrade our minds? Why are we choosing to think the same thoughts again and again, but in different forms, right? I'm choosing to think this thought of disappointment or judgment or criticism. I'm choosing to think this thought of lack, not good enough, not worthy. I'm choosing this because I'm actively letting it fly in my brain. You have the power to shut your brain off. So in making that choice, we need to then become aware that we are choosing something that doesn't make us feel good. And then we need to systematically rewire our brain. And every time you have that thought inside, that it's against the current that you wish to create, the flow of the universe, the flow of energy, when you choose to release that negative pattern of thinking and you choose to correct yourself, and even a thought such as this, oh no, that was then, this is now, I'm no longer going to fool myself into thinking that's my truth and my reality. I'm focusing my attention and my intention on over here. Whatever it is, whatever over there is going to bring you. Be it a job, be it more abundance. And we need to get enthusiastic. We need to feel the energy, the power, the possibility of creation. You are more than capable of creating something powerful in your experience. We have to get out of the trap. And then there's a whole projection of thoughts that are coming at us every single day. And can you guess where that's coming from? From your television, from your phones, from your computers, from the radio. There's a projection of thoughts and words that may not be in alignment and supportive of what you want to create. But it's like when we drive by a car crash, everybody's got to slow down and look. What do we got to look for? And we can't but help but look to see what's going on. And we have to let ourselves trust that that's going to be okay, and we can't focus our attention on that crisis that's on the road. We have to keep our attention and intention on our journey moving forward in our personal safety. We need to send love and light to someone who's had some tragedy or difficulty on the road, but we don't need to look and gawk at it. But as humans, we got to know. We're kind of nosy. We need to know. I have this one neighbor. Good Lord. Every time someone comes out of her house, she has a reason to go outside. I've never seen anything like it. But I've already decided that regardless of what she does for other people, that's not going to work for me. And even if she does open her door and thinks she's going to head down her driveway, my energy does not allow her to even begin to come and start some conversation or questioning with me. Because my energy says I'm a girl on a mission, I'm on a move, and, I'm polite, I send you good blessings, but do not cross my space. Because I don't have time to lose myself in whatever her mind trap is. My mind needs to be clear to prepare for my day, to be inspired. My thoughts have to be in alignment with things that are powerful and directing to what's next on my step in my mission, what's next in my journey, what I want to do for myself, and how I'm going to plan my day. I have my own thoughts that are going on. And I carefully adjust my thoughts when my thoughts wander, because perhaps I, like you, hear something on television. I'm like, oh no, what could that be? Oh, but then I go, oh, that's okay. It'll work itself out. God's in control. There's nothing I can do but send it love and light, and I'm not going to allow whatever that story is to hook into me, because I'm in the process of manifestation, and I'm in the creation of what I desire, and I'm focusing on intentions that are going to benefit myself and others, so we can all up-level ourselves and transform our lives and come to a different frequency. And I don't want to lose myself in that low vibrational frequency of who's right, who's wrong, who did what to who. It gets crazy. And we're being bombarded with that all the time. And so our minds get caught in the fact that people are doing all these things that maybe are unjust, making other people not feel well about themselves, about life, and we're just seeing so much on the television. Even if you hear it or you hear people talking. But what you don't realize is because your frequency, your energy is so electromagnetically charged, And the more you are on your spiritual path, the more you are striving to be a powerful spiritual being and to align yourself with God, the more your frequency becomes supercharged. And that supercharge will also allow you to attract things that you focus on more quickly. So if now suddenly you're on this high-powered, supercharged thought process, and people are talking about in your energy, in their trap, things that are negative, that actually begins to come into your frequency. Now, you can't run up to people and say, because I've heard spiritual people do this, cancel, 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 delete, delete, delete. That doesn't do anything. I don't know what that's supposed to do, but you have to say to yourself, I'm in this vortex of energy that is sealed off and protected, and therefore my attention and intention is on things that are positive and that are flowing, and begin to focus on the things that are good for you. And let go of the stories of the past. And when your mind starts to think of someone else and what they might be thinking, I wonder what they think of me. I wonder what their thoughts are. I wonder why they did that. I bet you this was going on in their life. And we begin to project our story like we're a script writer of someone else's story. You are not. Absolutely not. You do not know what it is to walk in their shoes. Walk in your own shoes. Mind your business. If they don't deliver something in an expectation that you have, if they are not meeting something and it's bothering you, rather than assume you know why they're doing what they do, pick up the phone and ask them if you're brave enough. Otherwise, don't pay it any attention. It will reveal itself in due time. I promise you, people always tell on themselves. You'll always know what's going on. But it's when we waste our time. How many nights have you laid in bed wondering why somebody did something, said something, and it bothered you all night, and you lost sleep, and you were in the mind trap? Let that go. You're wasting energy that could be used to create your ideal life. You're not responsible for someone else's thoughts and actions. The only thing you can control, govern, manage are your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own actions. And you are creating your destiny. And with the power of the universe, the power of the angels, the power of God, they're all beside you, and you can do anything. And you can trust that the universe always has your back. Get out of the trap. Make a commitment to yourself this summer to get out of your mind trap. Correct the thoughts when they go astray. Say, oh no, that was for another day, but today I choose to think differently, and give yourself a different thought to think. And by choosing that, you're going to create better results for yourself in your life. And you're going to have more peace. And you're not going to have sleepless nights. You're not going to wonder, if I say this, what will they say? What did they really mean by this? If you're not sure what someone means, by goodness, ask them. Don't let your mind take you down the rabbit hole that will trap you. And then you do that across the board in so many areas of your life. And suddenly you're not living your life. You're living the version of what you think other people think your life should be. Do you know what you want your life to be? Let's use this summertime to really set ourselves free and choose that lighthearted, childlike wonderment of anything's possible, and that things happen for a reason, and trust the universe has your back. We're going to take a minute to get to our sponsors, and when we come back, we are going to answer your questions. But I have some important announcements. We've got some stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss this, because as I announced a few weeks ago, we're getting ready to celebrate our 14-year anniversary, and I sure hope you're going to be able to be a part of it. So stay with us. You'll hear all about it when we come back. We'll be right back.
The door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you are looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Join us for Moments of Scripture, hosted by Jan Coleman every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30 a.m. We will read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture every Sunday at 6 a.m.
Hi, it's Kevin Dalton from the Unlimited Auto Wash. Did you know we have 7 locations, including our newest at A1A and Lighthouse Drive, next to Promenade Plaza in the Sunoco Station in Palm Beach Gardens? For just $39.95 a month for the first 3 months, you can come in as often as you'd like and get our inside and out wash with Tire Shine, all unlimited, and we're 100% hand wash. We make you look good. Call 561-WASH-ME-TOO or visit us at unlimitedautoWashClub.com. And we're also a full-service wash for the occasional customer as well. No memberships required. Come see us at the Unlimited Auto Wash.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the True Oldies channel.
I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, because here we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com.
Love the outdoors and the open road? Don't miss RV Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m., hosted by Giant Recreation World second-generation owner and CEO Larry McNamara and his co-host Dwayne Adams. RV Hour, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., right here on the True Oldies channel.
If you're suffering from burning, tingling, or numb feet, you need to pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Darren Lastovsky, DC, owner of Pivotal Health and Wellness. Dr. Lastovsky, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is actually nerve damage to the legs and feet.
And what are the symptoms?
The major symptoms are numbness, tingling, burning, muscle cramps, coldness in hands or feet, and problems with balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It is treatable, and we have seen great results.
Call 561-287-3255 today. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Space is limited. Call 561-287-3255. 561-287-3255.
The free screening is a $149 value. The patient and any other person responsible for payment has the right to refuse to pay. Cancel payment for any other service, examination, or treatment that is performed as a result of and within 72 hours of responding to the advertisement for the free, discounted fee, or reduced fee service, examination, or treatment.
Turn your home into restricted airspace. Tell incoming flights you want them diverted. The new Raid Essentials Light Trap plugs into the wall and uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes. Its 24/7 continuous attraction provides insecticide-free protection that's people and pet friendly. Consider air service interrupted. New Raid Essentials Light Trap. Insecticide-free protection.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
And now another community first message from Robes.
When an auto accident occurs, stop immediately. Do not obstruct traffic and secure your valuables. Obtain the names, phone numbers, and addresses of the other driver and any witnesses. Call 911 and report the accident. Injured recently? Contact Robes Injury Law at 561-570-5700 or robeslawgroup.com. Offices throughout Palm Beach County.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have
Yes, indeed. We have changed. So much has changed, and the world, it's been changing. Are you making the changes? Are you moving along with it? Or are you resisting the change? Well, it's time to change. And it's time to direct yourself the way you'd love your life to be. Not get caught up in what's not working. When I look back, and I look back at the journey, all the journey that took me here, 684 5 live shows, I think they told me. It's a lot of shows. I had to hold my attention and my intention on what I was doing here, my purpose, my reason. Why do I show up here every Wednesday night? Why are we connecting? Because I want to give everyone a place where they can feel heard, a place where their questions can be answered, a place where like-minded people can gather, and maybe we aren't all in the same place, but energetically, because of the radio, because of social media and the streaming, we're able to connect all across the world. A place where you can know you're not alone in your thoughts as to what might really be going on in the world and what your connection is and can be with the universe. And that you're really not alone, that your loved ones, your guides, your angels, they're all with you. I really don't want people to feel like they're alone and all by themselves. Now, there's a time in life when, yes, we benefit from being by ourselves. We need to do that. We need to regroup. We need to step away from the chatter of others. We need to get attuned to our thoughts and our heart to make sure that we really know who we are and if we're living our life. Billy Joel has a song, I Don't Care Anymore, This Is My Life. Well, I'm not asking you not to care, but I do need you to focus on your life. What is it that you desire to have? How can you create a better life for you? It is a time of change for us all. The energy on the planet, the universe, everything's shifting. And you have the power to direct what you'd like it to be, but you have to be focusing on the right things, creating the right movement. 14 years later, we're coming up on our 14-year anniversary time of being connected with all of you. And this is a platform for all of you. And when I look back at our first show back in 2009, and I think, wow, what's really changed? I'm going to say not much. Because the way the show was structured, focusing on you and your questions and giving you a message from Spirit, all these years that's never changed. And I've never felt the need to change it. Because it's what has worked for everyone. And so now, as we approach 14 years, we're going to do some celebrating. It's time to get back out. You know, there was a time when I was out on the road a lot more. We did live events. We held events in hotels and convention centers. And we held more events at our center. We teach now at the center. We've been teaching since 2010. But we've put together something really special for those of you here in South Florida area. And for those of you who are live online, we have a very special celebration coming up for our 14-year anniversary of radio on June 28th. June 28th, we're going to be hosting a live show. And if you would like to attend, then here's what you have to do. We want you to subscribe to our email. This way you are in the know. You know exactly when it's happening, the exact specifics. And it's going to be an opportunity for you to participate in some live giveaways. We are giving away, are you ready? Lots of prizes. We also have 3 grand prizes. And these 3 grand prizes are of a 3-day, 2-night cruise. And this 3-day, 2-night cruise is going to be at the Margaritaville at the sea, and you're going to go to the Bahamas. So we are giving away 3 cruises at this live event. And we're going to be selling VIP tickets so that you have an opportunity to ask your question. Those of you who've been wanting to come to see a show, wanting to have a question answered, we're going to have some tickets for you. And you're going to be able to receive a gift, a question, and be entered 3 times in the drawing for these tickets. And each cruise is for 2 people. We take celebrating 14 years very seriously. And I'm going to tell you, we take you very seriously. We are so happy. We are so proud of every one of you. The growth that we have seen over the years, the transformation of each person, the up-leveling of questions, what we need to know. When I look back at some of the early questions and now the higher vibrational learning questions that we're all asking, so that we know it's not just what's going to happen, is my partner coming back, although that happens and it's an important question when you're there. But what can I do to make myself better, more connected? How do I manifest a new job? We're getting different questions because we've all evolved. And Spirit is shining through in everyone's answer. So if you would like to be live at the center and participate, then go to SarahSpiritual.com. We don't have all the information up there yet. That'll be posted in the next couple of days. But be sure to be on our email list, because that email is going to be going out in just a couple of days. And we want to be sure that you are registered and you're going to be there to be a part of this great celebration. We can't wait to connect with you. And we will have limited seating. That's why I'm telling you, you want to be in it to be a part of it. And all of our friends who are all across the globe, yes, of course, you're going to be celebrating with us. And then one day, for one of our bigger events that we're going to host out and about in some other areas of town that we have planned, and perhaps back at the convention center, we've got some ideas going on. We would love to have you there too. So we will see you next Wednesday night for our live show on air. But on June 28th, we're going to broadcast live from the Expedito Enlightenment Center. And be sure to let us know if you want to come and you want us to save you a seat. Well, enough of our announcements for now. We're going to pop onto our phone lines at 866-972-7247. We are answering your questions all across the nation. And I've got to take a question from Iman. And Iman is in Staten Island. Iman, how are you?
Hello.
Hello, Iman. Good
Hi,
to have
Sarah.
you here.
Thank you. I was just wondering, I feel like I'm at a standstill at this point. How do I work on, I guess, manifesting what I want to happen in my life? Because I don't know.
There's a lot of resistance around you, and I'm looking at the difficulty for you in manifesting because a lot of things are kind of coming up and blocking you. You want financial freedom, you want peace, you want to feel more healthy, and we have to remove all the people. Now, this is the difficult part. You have to remove all the people who are a resistance to the story that you want. Do not tell the people who are not in favor of what you want to create for yourself what you're creating, because they will cast their doubt and their impossibility and their own energy and their own agenda on it. And I want you to write down what you want. Write down what you want to create and give yourself a timeline, and don't waver. I know you're feeling very overwhelmed, and at times things are piling up on you, literally. But don't lose yourself in that, Iman. There is a powerful, powerful change when I look at where you're at that's coming up for you, because this year is just cleaning up old things. Like, it is the year to pack up, throw out, move, 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 move. So it is a year. So if we're desiring a move, this is the year that we're meant to move. And when I say this is the year, your birthday's coming up, yes?
Yes. Yes.
So from your birthday on, the energy is ramping up, and becoming more and more conducive for a move. And in the flow of this move, it gives you the opportunity to create something spectacular for yourself.
Great.
Less people
Thank you
who
so
know,
much,
the
Sarah.
better off you'll be. Now, financially, I know we're feeling trapped and stuck, but this too is going to shift.
Yes.
I do see you making a change financially in work. I do feel you starting something that's going to be your own business eventually. But I know right now you're just trying to connect the dots. Is that true?
That is true, yes.
And is there a desire, a thought that you wanted to create your own business?
Yes, I've been thinking about it.
Good.
Even if it's just a side hustle, I would love to. Do
Hustle,
something,
baby, hustle. It's time to hustle.
Okay.
All right. And I encourage you to have another stream of income coming. And, I encourage everyone, multiple streams, multiple spigots with which the universe can begin a flow of additional revenue, abundance, gifts, opportunities. Open them all, my friends, because this is the time. Because what have we learned?
Perfect.
What have you learned? When you relied on one person, what happened? When you relied on the same job all this time, what happened? Think how disposable people have become in their workplace. Right? Think of all the years of service that we've had in our communities, and suddenly we're persona non grata. So we need the universe to be able to have other flows to come to you, because when one closes, they say God says when one door closes, another one opens, right? So when one closes, we need other ones to begin streaming. Most of us in our mind trap are stuck on it has to be this way because we don't like change. And I know you've been sedentary, is the word they give me. You've been stuck. And you've become complacent in the life that you had until now you're just like one volcano that's ready to explode and you can't take it anymore.
100% right. Yeah.
So we're going to help you envision a new life because you're going to write out, I am the woman who is free from obligations. I am the woman who chooses the thoughts I think, and I choose the life that I desire, and I am worthy of the life I desire. I'm co-creating with the universe, therefore everything lines up perfectly for me. I choose to insulate my thoughts and emotions and my desires and have a secret conversation with the universe only. And the universe will protect me in the journey and open up all the possibilities for me. This is what we need to do. All right, my dear?
Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for
do.
listening to the show. And we
you.
hope the air and everything clears up there in Staten Island. I know you all been through quite a bit these past few weeks. So our prayers and thoughts
It's
are
getting
with
better.
you.
Definitely
Good.
getting better.
Wonderful.
Thank
Good to
you.
hear that. All right.
All right.
Bye for now. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye. 866-972-7247. That's the number to call to connect. And from Staten Island, we're going to go to Miami. And we've got Robin in Miami. And we're going to turn up the volume here for the questions for me just a bit. Robin, how are you? Hi, Robin. Are you there? All right. Well, we're going to have to put Robin on hold. And we're going to go from Robin, and hopefully we'll get Robin in Miami in just a minute. But we're going to go to Melissa in Houston. Melissa, how are you tonight? Hi, Melissa. How are you? Okay. I think we're having a little trouble here with connecting with some of the people on our phone lines at 866-972-7247. Melissa, are you there with us? All right. We're going to take a commercial break, and I'm going to give my peeps a moment to get the connection a little better for me to be able to hear our callers. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Standing in the room before
I'm about to transfer.
the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. 7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with SarahSpiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
I am Sarah Spiritual, and we're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we're going to go back to our phone lines. It was just a little off. We weren't able to quite hear people, and we wanted to see if we can get a better connection. So we're going to go to Sharon in Westchester as we're getting our other callers in, and hopefully the ones that we had called are going to be a little bit better and we're able to get back to them. But we've got Sharon, and Sharon is in Westchester. Sharon, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Sharon, when is...
Yes.
Where in Westchester are you? Where was Westchester are you?
In Mount Vernon, New York. Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon. I know Mount Vernon.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. I know.
Yes.
It's my old
Yes.
stomping grounds when I grew up in Westchester County, New York, and I was in Hartsdale. But I won my first
Yes.
pageant to the preliminary
Really?
to Miss America at Mount Vernon High School. So I know that
Oh,
place.
I'm right near, I live right around the corner from the high school.
Right around the corner. That's why I said when I saw you, my
Yes.
spirit guide said, because I don't know who you are, but my guides were like, you know where she lives. And I was like, all right, I've got to ask. I'm like, this is weird. I don't usually ask people, where do you live? But my guides were like, you've got to ask and find out. Sharon, this is a year of some expansion, some growth for you. And I feel like you've been feeling a little stagnant yourself, a little stuck. Is that true?
Yes. The reason for my call today is that I spoke to you a few weeks ago, maybe like 3 weeks ago. And I mentioned my son, Donnell, to you.
Yes.
And he's been doing great in his job, but now he's having problems on the job. They're like ready to like fire him.
Wow.
They said they were saying that he works as a security guard, and they were and I don't know, he had some incident with someone, but he said he didn't do anything. But now they have him under investigation, and the investigation, he's supposed to meet with them on Tuesday, and we don't really know what's going on, but it's just crazy.
So one of the residents kind of made a complaint or something, and how he might have handled something. Is that what you're alluding to here?
We still don't really know what. I know he had like an incident with one of the students, but it wasn't like, I think the student just told him something, and I don't really know what happened. But I was just trying to find out, because I'm just like going crazy. I'm like, he's been doing so well. When I spoke to you, you said he was doing great.
He is
and
doing
then now
well.
It's like, so I don't know. So I'm like nervous about his job. Huh?
When is Darnell's birthday, Sharon?
It's January 9, 83. 1983.
I wish you were here, because I already had the one on my paper as I scribble, because I was like, oh God, I just really feel like he's got this January energy about him. And, your son doesn't like to be told that he's wrong, though. Okay. So your son does stand up for himself. And I feel like whoever he had an altercation with, this conversation, I feel like the person was disrespectful, and your son was holding a boundary, and the student complained and exaggerated, is what I'm hearing. Okay.
Yes.
Your son should pray Psalm 32, Psalm 30.
Okay, well, let me write this down.
Sure, go ahead,
Wait,
because this is important. Yes, not a problem.
Psalm 32.
32, 34, 57, 65, 138, and 111.
138. Oh, and 111. Okay.
And this is so his words are heard clearly, so that the power of truth is with him. He needs to be as candid as possible. He has to hold his stance. And, he really needs ahead of time to recall what happened and write it out so that he knows what he remembers, and he needs to sit and be still and fill in the blanks, so that whatever the student says can't get a hook into him and throw him off and make it seem like he's not telling the truth, right?
Right. Yes, because it's like, and it's exactly what you said. Exactly what you said. The student was disrespectful, and he tried to correct the student, and the student, that's exactly what I felt happened. But he's not talking to me about what it is. But it's just that he's been so. And I remember speaking to you about him. He's been like so depressed and all of that before, and then he got this job, and he's doing so well. And then now the students they're gonna take the student words besides him.
Well, first of all, he's new, so he's in his 90-day probationary period. So it's at their discretion. So they want to nip something in the bud. And just because they're investigating doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad outcome. So here's where both your minds are going to the trap, right? He's had a run of bad luck. Things haven't gone well for him. We've got to get you out of that trap. And we need to say, no, he's going to speak the truth, and it's going to be seen. And he's going to have handled it by the book, by protocol. And the student is just being disrespectful, and things are going to work out. We have to change the story that we tell ourselves, and we can't allow ourselves to panic. And I will tell you, we're opening multiple spigots. If for some reason this door gets closed, God closes the door, you already know there's another door opening for your son.
Okay.
All right. That does not mean that I see him getting fired. I feel like he needs to have an opportunity to explain what happened. And the only way they can do it is during a formal investigation, right? Because,
Yes.
everything in the world is highly charged. So everybody's looking to point fingers at people. And if someone does a
Yes.
misstep, they have to investigate everything now.
Thing,
It's
yes,
just how
yes,
it
yes,
is. So it's not
yes,
necessarily,
yes.
as the mind trap is telling you, a personal attack on your son. It is just how they
Mm-hmm.
handle things. And he's new, so
Yes.
they don't know within their bones that he knows exactly what to do, and they can't guarantee he handled it correctly because they don't know him.
Mhm. They don't know him as exactly.
All right?
Yes, they don't know him. Yes, yes.
All right.
Okay, so I will give him these. I will give him these psalms to read,
Yes.
and just tell him. And I explain to him that to write everything down and just explain himself. You know what I mean? Everything he
Right.
remembered.
So he knows exactly
Yeah.
what his recall is. And I would suggest that, you're the mother. You read the
Yes.
prayers too, okay? On behalf of him.
Okay, read it.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Thank
But
you, Sarah.
don't,
Because
you're
you said
welcome.
he was going to be doing excellent. Thank you.
Well, he
Thank you
is
so
still
much.
doing excellent. Don't let the trap suck you in.
Don't let the trap. I got you. He
All right.
is right. I understand. I got you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, honey.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now. Bye.
Bye bye.
866-972-7246 and see how that trap can just catch us all. It's like, oh, here
Yes.
we go again. This is what happens to me. So we've all become programmed to expect something to happen. I have a lot of people who say things to me like, oh, 2 things happen. They always come in 3. Well, why do they always have to happen in 3? Aren't you happy with just 2 things going wrong? You need another one to feel really miserable? Come on. But these things we say to ourselves, the way we target our perception of what's to happen, this is what we need to break. We're going to go back to our phone lines, and we are going to go to Jackie, and Jackie is in Sebring. Jackie, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, Jackie. Good to connect with you. And what's your question? What's got you caught in your mind trap? How can I best help you?
So the other day I had a dream of a gentleman that was in my dream, and he was, of the way I saw him, it looked like my deceased husband. But then I saw myself in it also, so I didn't recognize it. The only difference between the deceased husband and the man in my dream was that he didn't have hair. He was bald.
Mm-hmm.
So the next day, I happened to go get honey, just local honey. And this gentleman, the one that sells honey, is actually flirting with me, and I didn't pay attention to what his face looked like. It looks just like him, the one in my dream. Now, we've been talking, and I have not told him about this, but we've been talking and dating a little bit. But something in me still doesn't feel that it's right.
Okay.
I need your help if you don't mind.
Not a problem. So your dream was showing you that somebody was going to cross your path. And I love when the universe gives us that sign. And there's a connection and there's a communication. But if you think about it, with all that you've been through, you're really just getting yourself back on track right now. Is that correct?
Correct.
So we're not in a hurry to do anything other than make a friend, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So there's no harm in getting to know someone. Now, what is this gentleman's birthday? I need his month and his day. I don't need his year.
I believe it's March 23rd.
Okay.
For some reason, I feel there's a little bit more of a connection, but I'm not sure.
But you have to allow it to unfold. See, this is the mind trap. We start to get ahead of ourselves in our thoughts, and we start to create a storyline before a story has been birthed. You need to live in the moment of now. I see someone who's a very solid man. He's a good man. He's very personable, but he's also very conscious of what he does and what he says. He's not overly outward in his personality. He just has just enough to make him social. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And he's very, very conscious of finances and responsibility. So when I look at this energy and I look around it, I really feel that he's a good connection for you. But time's going to tell because you're healing. And when I look at where he is in his journey, this is a year for him. It's a big year for him for work, money, career. This is where his focus is going to be. So whatever he's trying to create or grow in work and business, he's got a lot of growth. But when I go back and I look at his energy and I take his story back to about 2017, I feel like he was going through his share of changes. I don't know if you know much about his story, but I feel like 17 into 18 was a difficult time for him in his relationship and in his world, right? So he is looking for someone that he can communicate with, that he can trust, and he's looking for someone who's solid and authentic, because this man is very authentic, yes? What you see is what you get. And he's very loyal to the people who are in his clique. So once you're in his circle, you're in his circle. And then he thinks the world of people that are in his circle. So the two of you are just getting to know each other. Is there like a 2-3 year difference between the two of you?
5 years. Almost
5 years.
6.
Okay. I just know it's not a big difference. It just feels like he's not significantly older, significantly younger. 2-3 years is what it feels like. So 5, that's fine. That's the energy it feels like. 2-3 years. Makes me feel like the two of you are close in age, and yet there's a connection.
I'm actually older. I've never been with an older man. I'm sorry.
So, but the two of you are close in age. So to me, it doesn't feel like you're either older or younger because it's such an insignificant amount, but I know you're not the same exact age. That's what Spirit tells me. So when I look at this, just enjoy the connection right now. You have a friend, you have someone to get to know, because you need to decide what it is you want next in your life, and you're nowhere near that. But I do believe your angels and guides showed you this person so that you would know it was safe, it was okay to get to know them. Okay. And the dream is not for you to really share with him. The dream was for you.
Okay.
So you don't have to tell him anything about the dream. That's your little secret, because your guides and your angels talk to you when you're sleeping. Nobody needs to know that. That's your secret weapon. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Thank you so much for calling. And don't think ahead of yourself. Live in the moment. Get out of the trap. All right, honey. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. 866-972-7247. And we're going to go to Jennifer. Jennifer is in Broward County. Jennifer, how are you tonight?
Hello.
Hi, Jennifer. Good to have you connecting here with us.
Hi. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I wanted to know about my relationship. Financially, my partner has been going through certain situations. I wanted to know financially, is it going to get better for him? Okay.
So when I look at the energy for you first, if I may, I look around what's going on with you, and then, of course, that connects you to him as well. So the first thing that they make me aware of is that this is a year to get your own life in order and balance. And that applies to him as well. But for you, you've got to be in the flow of what works for you. And I feel like you've been making a lot of compromises and doing things that don't necessarily work for you that you would like to have. You would like life to be different, and it's feeling kind of stuck and stagnant is the word they give me. It seems to be a lot of that theme tonight with people, but you're feeling a little stuck and stagnant. What is your partner's birthday?
November 22nd, 91.
So he's looking to make changes and look at a different way to make money or be more creative in how he makes money, opening up other spigots for it to increase in finances, because I feel like the flow has been completely slowed up and shut down for him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does he have a business, honey? Because I see business movement around him.
He did, but it it didn't do so good. Maybe he's trying to open something new.
Yeah, there is a new business that comes for him, but he hasn't found his rhythm, his passion. He doesn't really know what makes him happy. I feel like he's almost throwing a lot of spaghetti on the wall and nothing's really sticking for him. But yes, when I look at where he is and I look at what's to come to him, the end of this year into next year, things get much more solid for him. I feel next year he's going to have networked with enough people that he's going to have advancement in a job, and he's also going to connect with an opportunity for work and business and build two streams, and then eventually he'll go back to business. He doesn't like to work for other people, does he?
No.
No. He doesn't like when other people boss him around. My guys are like, he doesn't want to take anything from anyone. So he's really needs to be his own boss, and he needs to create something that he feels like he's making a difference, a contributory, but there's also a lot of rewards for him. There's a lot of financial rewards that come for him. And this is going to open up for him, but he's got a couple of more months of things feeling kind of wobbly. I realize that this is causing a strain on the relationship. I realize that this is making him moody, disconnected. It's disrupting the flow between the two of us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only trouble we have.
Yeah.
And it's something,
So don't get caught in the trap. All right? We're noticing that we're not where we want to be financially. There's feeling of lack. But you have to focus your attention on how can we become more abundant individually and collectively, and not feel like he did something wrong, or you're not doing enough, or he's not doing enough. We can't get caught in that trap in our minds. We have to look at it as a collective group, and you need to look at each other and say, okay, this is where we are, and together we can find our way out of everything.
Okay, sorry. But sometimes I feel like we're apart. Do you see that he see me that way?
Well,
I don't know, because we've been arguing lately.
I understand.
That way that
but it's the stress. It's the stress, honey.
Yeah.
It's the stress right now. So when we can't look at ourselves because we don't feel we're enough or we're doing enough, when we don't look at ourselves and own our own things, what's the first thing we do? Point the finger at someone else and argue with them and tell them what's wrong with them and what they should do or shouldn't do and how they should do it. And he can't really pick himself apart anymore. So who's he going to pick on? You, right? So do your best not to take it personally. And then, of course, in the end, if it's something that crosses a line, you tell him that I'm not comfortable with you having this conversation with me, and we're in a tough spot, but we can only get through it if we stand united. Right? He's feeling trapped and overwhelmed right now.
Oh.
He's financially trapped.
With me, or?
Financially trapped. Yeah, he's trapped.
What about me? Is it like, do you see love there?
I do see love there, honey. I just feel like he doesn't love himself or his life right now. But as women, what are you thinking? Oh, so he doesn't love life with me. No, don't go in that trap. He's not happy. And when we're not happy within ourselves, when we're not happy with ourselves, we can't love. I understand. Well, what's your alternative? You're going to break up? That's not what you want.
I don't want that, but I'm thinking about it.
I understand.
So I'm asking for your guidance.
And we're giving you guidance. We're saying stay the course. Okay? When people call for guidance,
let me just try to balance.
Try to be the balance for him and try to come together in how we approach it and move forward.
Okay.
And then
I think also my family are a little hard on me because of him. Because,
I understand.
So
that also means
balance
everything. Let love be the answer. But that also means when family's hard on us, that means we gave them too much information to run with. Sometimes we talk about people.
They find out without me knowing.
Yeah. Well,
My family are very
nosy. They're very nosy.
Yes, nosy. I don't want to say it, but yes.
That's what it is.
They will
That's
find
right.
out what. Yes.
Right. But everyone goes through a rough patch, right? We've all been through rough patches. So you turn to your family and say, I know, but hear me now. You turn to your family and you say, when you love someone and they're going through a rough patch, do you criticize them and toss them away like they're just a used canister? Or do you give them a chance to find their way out of it? That's what love does. Remind them of that. Okay. And then tell them to mind their business.
Wow.
Politely. I know culturally that's not an easy thing in your family, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're very strict. Yeah. I understand that. I see. I got their number. But thank you so much, honey, for calling. We send you much love
today.
Good. We send you much love. Try not to get caught in your mind and just let things unfold a bit. The two of you are navigating life together. A lot of this is new for you. So just allow it to unfold. Trust the process. Bye for now.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
866-972-7247. And we're going to go to Broward County again. I've got Steve on the line. Steve, how are you tonight?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing well, Steve. Good to have you back connecting with us. And you are in your path of continuing to expand consciously for the next 6-7 months. There's a lot of up-leveling and growth that I see for you. And this year is really a year that's meant to mark this transformation and almost a version of reinvention of Steve. Have you been giving thought and consideration to that, Steve?
How did you even know what I was going to ask? Because I didn't even get it out, but you came with the answer right away because I was coming with my mid-year, checkup because it is June, and lo and behold, you spit the answer out. Yeah.
I did because I hear voices in my head. It's a blessing most of the time, right? But let's look at where you are, right? I know that if we had dialed back 20 years ago and said at this juncture of time you would be here, you'd be like, oh, heck no, that's not what I want to be. But now you're learning that the guy you were before, not that that was right or wrong, but that was the evolution of you becoming who you are now. And although there were aspects and wonderful times in that I'm sure at times you would like to have back, and some of it being the security and the consistency. But if you look at it, you've always had these, my guides call them sputter and starts, right? So you'd sputter and then you'd start and then you'd go. And then you'd sputter again and you'd stop. And then you'd sputter and you'd start and you'd go. That's been a pattern for you.
Yes.
And so this is probably, even though it's not ideally the consistency you were looking for, the stillness, the consistency of nothing playing out the way you thought it would, which I know is not a pretty picture because that's not what you had planned, but this is the most consistent things have been for you since you stopped trying to go against the grain and force this thing to go because you kept sputtering and stopped. So you're learning to be still, which for someone on a spiritual path, and of course, yes, we're in the world, we have to pay bills, we have responsibilities, we have family, we all get it, right? Nobody will be like, okay, I can't just sit here on a street corner and watch people go by and be like, this is how I survive. I get that we are looking for a different aspect of life, but it's not time yet. But what God is doing for you, what the universe is supporting you with, what your angels are bringing you, is a knowing and an understanding of Steve on a whole different level. An appreciation of things that you didn't even take time to notice, Steve. And now that you're noticing these things, more unusual things are opening up for you. And your guides and your angels are filling you with information of things that are going on around you. They're opening you up to notice things you wouldn't normally have noticed. And they've kind of, even though we have that need and that want to have more abundance, they're trying to distract you from worrying about that and just trust the process. and discover who you are, because the minute you really embrace who you are is the minute the doors of everything you've desired open up. And in your sputtering and stopping, you were going in the wrong direction. So they had to like literally slap you down so that you could raise yourself back up. And you're doing a fabulous job.
I was listening to a previous caller, and
Yes.
she was talking about her relationship, her love life.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but reflect on mine, because I've been with the same woman for about 10 years now, 10 and a half years really. And I'm living with a fighter. I mean, you know, I'm a lover, you know,
Right.
but this woman, you know, I love her to death. But every now and then we have a humdinger like we did yesterday. So you know what I had to do? I had to go in and be silent, go in my makeshift temple here, and I had to throw a cloak around the whole house and just throw out energy everywhere. And lo and behold, today is a little better. So I hope that the house got the energy that I put out, because that was my last resort.
And that's important. You see, you are exactly what I teach. When the energy shifts around us, we can react. We're human. We have our feelings, our emotions. I'm not saying that they're not valid, and I'm not saying that things may not have been said that could hurt or upset each other. This happens because we're human, and sometimes when we have so much bottled up, we can really hurt each other. But we have the power to shift it and change it and not hook ourselves into the mind trap of the words that are being spewed at us and or that we're spewing at someone else. And we have the power to shift the energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to be still, and we have to begin to hold vibration that's higher than what's happening. There's a reason why God said, be still and know I'm God. Because in the stillness, you will know God. And so you had to tap into that energy, because there was a series of things that set her off. And not all of them have to do with things in your relationship and you personally. But it became just a calamity of events that by the time it hit, and it hit the fan big, it was enough to really shake the entire house, right? And to make you think like, ruh-roh, I'm a-going packing. Like, it was a scary moment there because it wasn't feeling safe anymore, right? But those aren't the words of who she really is or how she really feels. But like the other caller, and great that you made that connection, her partner is feeling frustrated and overwhelmed that things aren't going his way. She's feeling frustrated and overwhelmed with things that are having nothing to do with the relationship, and then whatever aspects in the relationship are not meeting her expectations, and it became the perfect storm. And what I was trying to explain to the previous caller is just let it ride and don't get so caught up in the story, right? Be still. And right away, where's her mind in the normal place that all of us, but do they still love me? Does he love me? Does he even want to be with me? Because there's a message in the mind trap that makes everyone feel like, oh, something's wrong. Like, I'm going to lose what I have. But you did exactly the perfect thing. You went and you're like, no, this is what has been built, and it's going to be in the proper frequency and vibration, and then what's meant to be will be. And so that was perfect.
I did what you taught me to do over the years. I said, you know something, let me put this into practice. Let me put it into play. And I think it kind of worked.
I think it did. Yes, indeed. She seems calm, and give it a few more days and you'll see. And yes, there are things that together you want to change and it's not changing. And there's many people in the world who are feeling that. So again, I tell everyone, united we stand, divided we fall. So as a collective consciousness, we have to stand united in the light and the love. And those of you who have partners or family that you can unite with, this is the time. It's not us against anyone. It is standing united in the energy of love and each other and respecting each other while the world figures out where it goes from here. Well, Steve, I hope
I've listened to you for 14 years.
For 14 years,
never
exactly.
been wrong, so.
Well, I appreciate that. Spirit, thank God Spirit knows what Spirit is talking about, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But I hope you come up to the...
You've never been wrong.
Oh, I appreciate that. I hope you come up to the show, our live show. Come on up to West Palm Beach. We'd love to have you there. Since you are one of our original oldest callers in the 14 years. Love to have you make the trip up to West Palm Beach if you can, and see you at the Expedito Center on June 28th for our live show. Thanks so much, Steve, for following the show all this time. We greatly appreciate you. Bye for now.
Bye.
We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back to the phone lines we go. We got calls all across the nation. We've got Virginia, California. We've got Louisiana. We've got Oregon. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be. 'Cause the world...
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Robe Studio. Injured recently? Call the Robes Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Robes, winning for you and our community. Your home for the true oldies channel. This hurricane season, count on Oldies 95.9 and 106.9 and our partners WPBF ABC Channel 25 meteorologist to track the tropics and keep you informed in the event of a storm. It's headed right for us! On your TV or on your radio, we got you covered.
Tropical storm watch will likely see heavy rains starting tonight.
Oldies 95.9 and WPBF ABC Channel 25, tracking the tropics.
Need help with your finances? You need Keith Singer. Review your income plans, tax strategies, estate plans, and more with Keith Singer. Listen to Singer Wealth Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. right here on the True Oldies channel and SingerWealth.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street, reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LOT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LOT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LOT.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun.
They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
And now another community first message from Robes.
When an auto accident occurs, stop immediately. Do not obstruct traffic and secure your valuables. Obtain the names, phone numbers, and addresses of the other driver and any witnesses. Call 911 and report the accident. Injured recently? Contact Robes Injury Law at 561-570-5700 or robeslawgroup.com. Offices throughout Palm Beach County.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
just not easy to be who we want to be. 'Cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone.
And we are back here live on VCMG on the Oldies station. Thank you so much for driving in your car, listening to us, tuning in on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, watching it live on Facebook and YouTube, sharing it across the globe. If you're on Facebook, share the like, share the love, share the page. We'd love to connect with all of you. And so you know, if you're just joining us, we are celebrating our 14-year anniversary on June 28th. At 6:30 p.m. to 9 live at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. If you would like to be one of our VIP members and be a part of the experience and guaranteed to have your question answered and receive a gift and 3 entries to our grand prize, which is a cruise, we sure would love to have you. I want you to go to our website, SarahSpiritual.com. Be sure to register for our mailing list if you're not already, so you can have the details and you can reserve your spot to be a part of what promises to be a very fun night and the beginning of many other nights out on the road. On the road again. Yes, indeed. They got me right back on the road again, and we're just brainstorming on some fun things that we've got coming up for all of you. But June 28th, we'd love to have you. We're celebrating 14 years on national radio, and sure would love to have you be a VIP. And those of you who are out of state, out of country, who call into the show, you're going to be included for some of the prizes as well. And in order to win and be a part of our drawing for the cruise, we want to have you live in the studio at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. So look for the details in your email box. Be sure to register for our email list, and we'll be getting that out to you in just the next couple of days. Be on the lookout. Of course, it'll be posted on Facebook and YouTube. Look for all the details. Well, we're going to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. And I've got to go to Terry, and Terry is in Oregon. Terry, how are you today? And what's trapped in your mind? What's the mind trap got? And what do we need to let go of? How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, I don't want to start crying.
It's okay.
So I suffer from social anxiety.
Yes.
And it's hard for me to keep a job. And I applied for disability, and I'm just waiting for that. But my family's kind of just given up on me because I think that they say it's all in my head. But I've been diagnosed with it, and it's just really hard.
I understand. And it is not all in your head. It is a real experience. And I feel that there's been a lot of trauma throughout the years that have made it harder and harder for you to be out socially. And you've just over the years been closing down more and more and more to the point where literally your mind is a trap and you can't get out of that trap. And that is at
Correct.
this moment feeling out of your control. So we know it's not all in your head.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Your family doesn't
yeah.
understand that because they think it's like flipping a switch. It's like when someone has depression, people are like, okay, just snap out of it. Like, you know, how much longer can you cry?
You can't.
But when the body is in a fight or flight, or the neurotransmitters are not speaking to each other properly, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not a psychiatrist, but when we don't have the connectors bringing that serotonin up that we can feel better about things, we just can't feel better. And sometimes medication
Right.
can't do enough for us, no matter what we take. And It's about learning to reprogram ourselves, but that takes time. But when you feel down and hopeless and you don't know where to start because you're feeling overwhelmed and everything reacts in you a way that causes you to go into a shutdown or a fight or a flight, you are caught in a trap, and it completely, I can speak, I swear, it completely repeats the cycle over and over again, right? So this is where you've been feeling. I do feel that there's enough documentation, because I know you're asking this question, there's enough documentation for you to get this approval. I do know that there's a process, and just because they say no once doesn't mean they're going to say no again. We have to go through the process, but I feel like you have you've got a pile, my guides tell me you've got a pile of papers that say all the reasons why, and different doctors that say how it's difficult for you to go out into work and to do different things and participate in life in what other people consider normal. So you have plenty of documentation. Well, you know what? It is a experience for you, and I know this is difficult, but what I'm hearing from the guides and the angels is that this is an opportunity for you to really go down deep inside and build your relationship with the divine and your angels. And when this time is up, I don't see this as the rest of your life. When the time is up that this experience passes and that you recalibrate yourself, I understand medically there'll probably always be a tendency towards these things, but when you begin to find the strength to regroup some of your processes within self, and you have a stronger connection with your guides and your angels, you will be able to transmute a lot of this disharmony and these disenchanted thoughts that are going on in your mind. You'll be able to reprogram yourself to transform to something better. And that takes time, and that takes strength, which you don't have at this moment, Terry. But it will come.
No, I don't.
Okay. Just even moving mail from one place to another seems like a daunting task for you, let alone opening the mail. Does that make sense to you?
I get very overwhelmed, and I don't do it. I just leave it there, and 2 months later, oh, wow. Oh, yeah, it's, and I know this is, I've talked to you about this a couple of times before, but my cat, Sunny, is still gone. And that he was my rock, and it's just been really, really tough.
I understand. He was your support animal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope he's okay. I have a feeling he's passed.
I don't see that, honey. I don't see that. And I'm not telling you that because that's what you want to hear. I don't see that.
No. Okay.
So I feel like someone has helped him, and he's okay, and you're going to be okay.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're
welcome. You. I really needed to hear that.
Thank you.
I feel alone, and thank you.
I know that. I know you do.
Thank
and
you, God.
You have an entire listening audience, and I say this to you and many of those who call when you feel alone. Other people are listening, not that we've got our ear on the door with the glass trying to hear what everyone's saying and superimpose ourselves in someone else's life, but as we all listen, we all can relate. Maybe we don't have the same exact experience, but we all know what it's like to feel alone, Terry. We all know what it's like to maybe lose a pet, or something unexpected happens that really rocks our world, and suddenly we don't have that support. So we've all been in a place that we didn't want to be, and seemingly some of it seems out of our control, and we don't know how to get ourselves out of it. There's not a person listening that hasn't had an experience that caught them by surprise, and for a moment they felt overwhelmed, maybe even helpless. So you have an entire audience, millions of people who are supporting you.
Yeah.
Millions. We have millions of people who listen to this show, not just in South Florida, across the world. So millions of people are holding space, holding energy for each other. And that's why I show up here every Wednesday night. And that's why it gives me great joy to let you know you're not alone. Even though when you hang up this phone and you look at your four walls, you're thinking, I can't get out. I can't do the things I want. I can't find my joy. I can't find my peace. People are judging me. They don't see me for who I am. And they think I can just flip a switch
Right.
like a light switch and just poof, be like, here I am. I'm a new person. It doesn't work that way. But God knows your heart. God knows your soul. And your angels are with you. And for whatever reason, you didn't read the fine print in your contract, but you signed a contract that said you had some self-love and feeling good enough and worthy, and some issues with stilling your mind, the trap of the mind, so that you could find peace and thus find God. And so this is where you are.
Right.
So even though it's not the vision of your life you wanted to have at the juncture that you're at this age, but this is where you are. So we can't curse it. We can't feel upset about it. We have to say, okay, this is where I am, and in this moment of now, I'm going to be grateful for what I do have and what I can do, and I'm going to be grateful for my connection with my guides and my angels and the few friends that I do have, the outreach that I have, the doctors that I have, whoever's been of service to you, and I'm going to trust that this too shall pass. Because, Terry, this too shall pass. And when it passes, it's going to be a weight off your shoulders, and you'll be a new version of Terry. So trust the process.
Okay. Thank you,
All right.
Sarah, so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
God bless you.
God bless
Thank
you,
you.
honey. We're all praying for you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
And Terry's call reminds me to remind all of you, if you're suffering and you feel emotionally, mentally drained, don't suffer alone. Do seek help. Go to someone who can provide you with some guidance and some counseling. Someone who can help you, who is a mental health practitioner, who can help you through this. We've all had moments that we really felt down, and probably everybody, whether they push through it or not, has had their bout of, whether it's a situational depression or a diagnosed depression. There's so many people who are suffering. You don't have to suffer in silence. And you too have the power to just make that one step, that one call, and get the skills and the assistance that you need so that you can have a happier and better life. And Terry's call reminds me to remind all of you listening that you're not alone. And here at Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, we love assisting people, but I am not a mental health practitioner. I talk to the guides and the angels, and I know that they never steer us wrong, but there is help that is prescribed that can assist you, that is trained to handle wherever you are. And don't be shy in reaching out, especially if you're not getting support from family and friends. Don't be afraid to reach out. We know times are tough for everyone. We're going to take another call. And I've got to go to, looks like Anne. And Anne is in Orange County, California. Anne, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well. Good to connect with you. What is in your mind
nice
trap?
to
What's been kind of trapped around you here, my dear? What's your question for us?
Well, I'm looking for a fulfilling relationship, romance, and there is a gentleman that I met not so long time ago, and we are friends at this time, but I don't know if he will be open to a romance with me. Do you see this happening, or it will always just be friends, nothing else?
This year for you is really about you really setting some intentions as to what it is you do want. And the desire and the wish for primary partnership is something that has been on your mind for a couple of years. Is that true? The past 2 years you've been really looking for primary partnership?
I was not really looking. I was just hoping that, during the pandemic, it was really hard to look for someone. And it just happened that I met this person.
Well, I won't
few
lose
months ago,
myself.
and-
I won't lose myself in the semantics of the word hoping or looking, but the desire is there. So it's just spirit. When we
Okay,
hope,
yeah.
or whether we
Mhm.
actively go out and look, we're setting the intention. So what my guides show me is the past 2 years, or since the pandemic, you've especially been setting off these rockets of desire to find a primary partner. Now, the best way that I can answer this question for you, Anne, is I need the gentleman's month and day of birth. So do you know that, please?
Not really. I know the sign is possibly Cancer, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the month, the date of birth. I never asked this question.
Okay. But there is a connection. There is a chemistry. There is some synergy going on here, right? Because I can feel the vibration. It's just when I look at where he is in the journey, and I do hope in conversation you're able to get his birthday, because that'll really help me open up the door to his soul. But what my guides are telling me is that he seems as if he's been very busy these past 8 months, something to do with something financial or work related. And so he doesn't seem as available time-wise to spend time with you in the way that you would like. He too is looking for someone. So he too has set up the rocket of desire. But I see someone who's a little cautious is what I see. So I see him putting his foot in the water and then kind of pulling out. And that makes me feel like he's giving you a little mixed message. Like, I might be interested, but then again, I don't know. And this is why you don't know whether he's ready to be more than a friend and if that's all it's meant to be. What I'm going to tell you for you, not totally reliant on this gentleman, that there is a relationship and love that comes for you, and that the end of this year into next year brings you into the time of relationship partnership. I do feel that there's more to explore with this gentleman, and I do feel that from what Spirit shows me, that there is a friendship that will be there. He's not quite ready to be more than a friend. He's got something on his plate that's keeping him occupied. And you will know more about this relationship, whether it's going to move forward beyond just friendship after the end of July. So when I put you in August, you're going to know, if nothing has changed, that it's staying in the lane of friendship, because the story, as it's written in the world, in the energy, in the spirit, is not completely written out yet. So there's still a window of time before this decision of free will is made on his part. I know you on your part would like to have a relationship with him and like to see what that possibility could be, right? We don't know enough about him to know if we really would want to be with him, but we know that there's an attraction, there's a connection, and this attraction, this synergy, this flow of energy is what I see that's coming from both of you. So hold that vision, hold that intention, and you ask the divine, be it him or better. Him or better. This is how we create partnership for you without being attached to it just being that person. And if you can, get me his birthday. Mm-hmm. And have you called the show before?
No, this is my first time.
Wonderful. How did you hear about the show?
I just heard about this on Facebook.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you...
I've never seen your show, listened to your show. It was interesting.
Well, thank you so much. We are here every Wednesday night, 6:30 to 9 p.m. Your mission is get that man's birthday and call me back. And then I spy with my SarahSpiritual eye. We'll really know what he's up to. All right, my dear?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Sarah.
so much.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we've got our friends on Facebook and YouTube. I know they're like, did she forget us? No, we didn't forget you. We are coming to our Facebook and our YouTube friends in just a minute, but at this moment, we're going to take a break and hear from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with SarahSpiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with SarahSpiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know me. Every soul has its story, like a movie playing in a different theater. And the characters, they change like water into wine. Everything comes when the stars align. Do you know me? Do you know me? Have we met before?
Do you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and we are spiritually speaking to all of you all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We got calls on the board. But before we go back to the board, I've got to go to my friends on Facebook and YouTube. We got to be sure to thank them all for holding on, hanging on, sharing the page, sharing the light, sharing the love. And we're going to post some questions for our friends on Facebook and YouTube. And let's see what we've got going on here on our Facebook feed and our YouTube feed. Let's see who we've got. All right. Let's see, we've got Rima Feliciano, and she's like, she's asking hi, and she says hi to me, and she says hi to Helena. Any message for me regarding employment and or relationships? She's talking about her man, her son, and a lot of things going on. So let's start with you, Rima. And Rima, the first thing that they make me aware of is that this is a year for you to make some shifts and changes in employment. It is really a time for you to up-level your game. You are worthy of more. And 2024 is the year that you can say, I want more. So set your intention to make a job change. If they're not going to give you the role, the money that you desire, set your intention on where you'd like to go, what you'd like to have, and tell the universe to bring it on. When it comes to your man, well, your man, he's a pretty cool guy, and he's got a lot of experiences that are coming to the head for him right now. So he's looking to break some routines. I'm feeling like he was feeling stuck and stagnant. Again, there's that word again tonight. Seems to be a lot of stagnation in the air. And he's looking to make some changes for himself to bring him more rewards and really break the routine so that he can feel like he's more in his own personal flow. The relationship is seeming solid right now. There's connections there. We're working on communication. I understand you both can shut down and not communicate when we need to. Maybe we are saying it after the fact. So we need to be a little bit more open in our communication. Sometimes your man could be a little more withdrawn and maybe even a little moody, but we want to let him know it's a safe space for him to talk, and the two of you most certainly are going to grow. Your son, well, he's on a good path right now. This is a time for him to expand and really grow. I really feel like there's a challenge for him for study and growth so that he can set the pace for his career. Thank you so much for your very detailed question on our YouTube channel. We appreciate you, Rima Feliciano, for asking your question. Thank you for following the show. I know you have been for a while. We appreciate you. We're going to take another question from our friends on Facebook and YouTube. And let's see, we've got Carolina Garcia. She too is on YouTube. And she says, what's Spirit's message for me in terms of my spiritual growth and love? Well, Carolina, your spiritual growth has really opened up. And I really feel that some of the setbacks have really been a setup for you to align with Spirit more rather than a punishment from the universe, because I know you're feeling frustrated that things have not moved in the direction that you wanted them to on a personal level. So in a way, you're feeling a little stuck. What I do say is this: there is love for you coming, and there is opportunity for love. Let your heart be open and trust. There is a loving partner that can come for you. You have to let them in. You have your guard up and you don't trust. If we don't allow someone to show you who they are, how do you know if you're passing up a good guy? You do not know. So Carolina, your job this year for yourself is to truly step into your power, follow the guidance of your soul. It is a great spiritual awakening year for you. You're going to up-level your own gifts, your own intuition. The dreams that Spirit gives you messages through are going to help you, and you do have love coming, and that comes somewhere after we get past the month of September of this year all the way to June next year. This is a window of time that the energy is really strong to create love. So put yourself out there, trust the process. Don't feel trapped in story and situation. That's the mind trap that's not letting you, Carolina, really have the life you desire. The universe has your back. And even though it doesn't look like things are going to work out, I know that they will. Thank you so much, Carolina, for following the show. We greatly appreciate you. Bye for now. Who else do we have on our Facebook or YouTube page? We'll take one more question before we pop back onto our phone lines, because we've got to go to some calls across the board. We got Dory Dees. Dory Dees says, requesting some light and guidance about my plan for retirement. Is this year a good year? Anything else about my love life? Well, let's talk about retirement first, Dory Dees, because I think you'll have plenty of time for love, honey, when we get you to retire. But when I look at this energy here, first thing that they make me know is that this flow for you is really about you finding life, order, and balance. And this year is not the best year for you to retire. Actually, 2024, May or June seems to be the better time for you to do your retirement, Dory Dees. So if you can hang on for what looks like about 10 more months, this would be most beneficial for you. Allow you to get things in better order and set yourself up so you can ease into retirement. There is a window from this May, June of 2024 all the way to February of 2025, but I got a feeling that you're going to take the earlier option and set yourself free so you could be a free bird. And anything about your love life, well, love life is not the priority right now. Getting life in order and balance is going to be the priority so that you can get out of the box next year and break that just trap that you've been in so that you can build a whole new life and really run around the world saying, I got a new attitude. So thanks, Story D's, for your wonderful Facebook question. We send you love and light. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on VCMG. You're heard live on the Oldie station. So as you're cruising down the highway, if you're picking up the station, we're here every Wednesday night, 6:30 to 9 p.m. And we have a live event at the Expedito Enlightenment Center where we're going to be hosting a few people to join us for our radio show. So please be sure to join our email list at SarahSpiritual.com so that we have you on our fabulous list so that we can invite you to be a VIP. We are giving away 3 cruises, 2 people per cruise, 3 cruises plus other prizes. The cruise is to the Bahamas right out of the port of Palm Beach, and this is known as the Margarita at the Sea, and this is going to be a 3-day, 2-night cruise, and I would love to give 3 of these out at the Expedito Enlightenment Center, and I sure hope you're one of the ones who's going to win it. You're only responsible for the tax and the gratuity. Otherwise, the entire cruise is all yours. On behalf of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, on behalf of the Oldie Station, we truly thank you for listening to the show and your loyalty over the 14 years. I told you we had surprises coming for you. We've got lots of other prizes there that night, but those are our grand prizes. Love to have you join us. Shoot us an email. If you have any questions, you can email us at media, MEDIA, at SarahSpiritual. But be on the lookout for all the details to be in your email box and posted on our website in the next couple of days. All right, I've got to go to Amy. I don't know. I think Amy's in L.A. or I don't know. Is she in Louisiana? Amy, where are you?
Los Angeles. Hi, I'm in Los Angeles.
You're in Los Angeles. Great. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Amy, what is your question? Where's the mind trap got you caught here? How can we best help you?
So I had a orphan session with you, and I've been doing a lot of inner work lately.
Yes.
But I feel as if I'm still kind of struggling to reverse the negative thinking, and just want to know what I can do to help that.
Great questioning. Great questioning. So there's a repetitive thought of not feeling good enough and things aren't going to work out the way you want them to. Is that the thought pattern that you're having?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And who inside of you doesn't feel worthy of the life that you want? Do we place you at age 8, age 9? Where do we place you?
9.
Okay. Because that's where Spirit takes me, in that window of time. And when the feeling comes up, what you do to readdress it is you literally see yourself sitting across of the little girl version in you. And you look at yourself and you say, it's okay, I'm here. I know that others weren't here for you, but I'm here. And just because we've experienced things that have caused us hurt and pain and we don't feel good enough, worthy and seen, and we're having difficulty finding our voice, we're going to find it together. And I know that you've been trapped for a really long time. And as an orphan, it was horrible to be there, left in the past as a fragment and not included in all the decisions that we've made. So I can understand, little Amy, why you feel like you don't know if you can trust me. And there's times that I'm learning to trust myself because I've made choices that didn't turn out the way I want. But that does not mean that I'm not worthy of the outcome I desire. But I realized that the minute that something didn't feel right, I had to do more. And so I came to get you. And I can't undo the past, but what I can do with you is we can redesign the future. And we can embrace the beauty and the grace of who we are. But that seems so unfamiliar to us, little Amy, because we didn't know who we were. We were lost in the story of what other people were telling us, and we felt as if we couldn't be our own self. So we lost ourselves. And so now what's bubbling up is the fear and the insecurity and the not feeling good and even some anger. And I can understand that. It's perfectly normal to feel frustrated and angry that you weren't included in all of these choices moving forward. But I had no idea. And our parents, they did the best they could. And they don't know any better. But because I've been choosing to grow and align myself with a divine purpose and a divine mission and to truly embrace who I am, well, Amy, we can do that together. Because I may not know everything, but I know that I can do better. And we can do better, and we can have the life we want. But the journey to the life that we want is about being playful and joyful and having fun. And when we have that thought that seems to plague us, and as it plagues us and it's repetitive and it continues to keep us up at night and disrupt our presence and our peace, we're going to join together and we're going to say, no, that's not our story anymore, because we're rewriting a new story. And we're going to continue to talk to ourselves. And we have years and years of disappointment and things that have made us feel this way. So I promise that in the future, I'm going to come back and pick up other pieces of you, because age 9 may be a dominant memory, but I know that there was something at age 4 and there was something at age 7. And I know that your 13-year-old self, that was really rough to be 13. So I'm going to work to pick up all the pieces, and together, all of the orphans, we're all going to join together. We're going to shift our life, and we're going to feel better and lighter. That's what you can say to her. And because this is being recorded and is on YouTube and Facebook, if we look at our clock, it's the 8:44 moment. So you could go back to about the 8:41 moment, Amy, and you can literally play it on your computer and then with your phone record it. And you can begin to adapt some of the words and the phrases and statements that your little girl needs to hear. And Amy, with all the things that have gone on in the journey, it is time for us to look at several orphans, not one, but we start where we begin, and where it came easily for us is the age that came up. And then we go back and we continue to work with the orphans. But in the meantime, we've given you a dialogue that can begin to help you redirect your mind, because it's a pattern. And there's nothing wrong with you that you can't break it. It didn't all instantly change and flip, because it's not like flipping a switch. It's layers and layers of little pieces, little fragments that are floating around inside that just want to go back to be whole. And your little girl wants her joy and her happiness and the innocence that she wasn't able to embrace. So now together, you're going to create a safe space for her and all the pieces of her. Does this make sense to you?
It does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I know I gave you a mouthful, but go back and listen to it. And when you're ready, I would love to do some more soul integration. And I'm sure I shared with you when we connected that I always love talking about my little student who'd been a part of me. And she did many soul integrations. And every time things feel a little askew, she still checks in and does some work, because it keeps her centered and grounded so that she doesn't lose herself in the racing mind and the mind trap. And I'll tell you, Amy, you picked the perfect night to call the mind trap. So thank you so much for being vulnerable and calling in tonight.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye for now. We'll talk soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
866-972-7247. And we're going to go back to our phone lines. And I've got Candace. Candace is in Jupiter, Florida. Candace, how are you tonight?
Hi, I'm great. How are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well. Good to connect to you. Is this your first time calling, Miss Candace?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
Yes, it is. I just happened to be listen to you on the radio, and I felt like it was meant to be. It was like a perfect moment, as it usually is. So
wonderful. Yes,
I just called right in.
Well, I appreciate that. We trust that. I always trust that Spirit is guiding us to the right place. And you, my dear, you are in the place of, first of all, I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore. You've got this power that you're stepping into and this understanding of who you are. And learning to surrender the things that you cannot control and allowing the universe to rectify the things that may be out of alignment. And you're learning to find a rhythm and a balance. And in this rhythm and the balance, it's opening you up more and more and more to your spirituality. It's opening you up more and more to your angels and your guides. I do see Archangel Michael around you. I see the beautiful energy of Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion and love and prosperity around you as well. And this is really an important time for you. Another word that I've used a few times tonight is you're in your awakening. You're really leveling up your spirituality, leveling up and realizing that the ways of the world have not always served you, Candace. So for you, it's really important that you tune into yourself before you just follow what everybody says. Does this make sense to you?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes.
There a business or something you're looking to put together, Candace, because they're showing me opportunities and growth? Is there something you're looking to put together at this time?
Yes, there is. There is
Good.
a business that I'm trying to start, yes.
Absolutely. You are right for the times. This is what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh, yeah? Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. I've been a little bit I don't know if it's analysis paralysis, but I felt myself like almost shaking, trembling to move forward. But I feel like that's a good thing. I'm out of my comfort zone, and I just need to just keep taking those steps. If you have any guidance around that, just anything that would be helpful to just kind of calm me,
yes,
because I get a little nervous, and I think, when you talk about a mind trap, I think the thing that I worry about is oh, what if I'm disappointed, right? And I forget about what if I'm gloriously surprised. I forget about all the other possibilities when I'm in that state. And I just want to find a really nice hack that can pull me out of that when I'm much more aware of it now, but I can spin it in a little bit sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm going to dial us back, if I may, and I'm actually going to dial you back to the age of 11. They said 7, but then they said 11, and then they spun it more to age 11. So what was the limited belief that was going on? Where did we not feel like we could do whatever we wanted to? Who was the Debbie Downer or the negative person who didn't make you feel like you had possibilities?
My mom for sure.
Yeah, and we're not criticizing her. That's who she was. That's all she knew right at the time. And so but they call her Debbie Downer, so hopefully her name's not Debbie, but anyhow. So we've got the glass is half empty, okay? And she can't see it as half full. So she's always trained you in some way, whether through words or her actions or reactions, that we have to wait for the other shoe to drop because maybe it might not be as good as it looks, right? So there's this thought of, if I put myself out here, what if it doesn't work? If I have a business, you're like, oh, it is a good idea. Oh, good, right? There was a little relief, but you're like, oh, I wasn't sure there was a good idea, but now you're telling me it is. Okay, I think I feel relieved. No, I'm feeling scared to death was the other part that went inside. In one flip, it's a little scary, right? But for you, recognizing that I am the power of God in motion, therefore the authority of God is the only energy that acts here and now in everything I do. And because I am one with the entire universe, I have the entire universe supporting me. So therefore, I am always in alignment. I always know the perfect thing to do and say. All the right people are always popping up to assist me in the perfect time. I am free from limitation. Everything I do flows with ease and grace. I am free to be my own being, and by being true to myself, I unlock the door of infinite possibilities. And these infinite possibilities are not overwhelming in any way, shape, and form, because they give me ideas and inspiration that inspire me to live more lovingly, greatly, and passionately for everything I do. And because I know I am worthy, because I have been chosen to live a life of grace. And in my worthiness, I already know I'm enough. And in knowing that I am enough, I know that everything that is perfect for me, I am the magnet of attraction to draw it forth to me expeditiously. So I don't have to question and wonder when. I always know it'll show up at the perfect time. I don't have to worry about being disappointed because anything that doesn't meet the vision I have simply means that the universe has a better vision, and I am choosing to put my attention and intention on the best version of the story that I desire. And because I am learning to grow my mind and my consciousness, I know I am always evolving. Therefore, all of my outcomes will be evolutionary, and I don't have to worry about feeling gypped or in lack or disappointment because I'm abundant beyond measure. That's a hack to open up the doors of possibility. And there was a reason why, and this is recorded too, so you can go under the 8-minute and 53-second mark and just kind of roll back a bit on YouTube for Sarah Spiritual, and just be sure to follow us so you can get other little tips and tricks. But very specifically, the universe was like, don't say unlimited, because if I say unlimited possibilities, I'm still utilizing the word limited. What I wanted you to know is that I have infinite possibilities. And infinite transcends the human mind of what we think is possible, right? And you want all of your experiences to transcend that which you believe is even possible, because God has a better version.
Yes.
That's why when people say, I want what I want and I want this, I go, but what if you're selling yourself short? And the trembling, the fear is some enthusiasm. I get it. But it's also that little girl who would benefit from some soul integration. It is that little girl who is truly feeling like, what if the other shoe drops? You know, the glass is half empty as well as half full. So what if on the day I'm thinking it's half full, it's really half empty? Wow, what's going to happen? And we get ourselves caught in that because your little girl's trapped in that belief. And specifically, they took me to 7 and 11, but they stopped at 11. So it'd be interesting for you to kind of sit with yourself in meditation and see what was going on at the age of 11, and what were some of the conversations that were going on, and how did you interpret it, and how did it transcend into your everyday life as a young girl?
It's so interesting you say that, because when I was little, my grandmother said that I used to sing and dance and play and be joyful as we are. That's who we are. And my mom would walk in the room and I'd just shut it all down. Yeah. And so what you're saying makes so much sense. It just really resonates with me a lot. And I just wanted to confirm that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I feel like I'm carrying something that's not mine. It's not what my soul believes at all. It's something else. So
it's not.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. You had to adjust to your environment, right? We can't disappoint the person that we rely on. So if she needs you to be still and be quiet and not disrupt her, then you're going to shut down, right? But that little girl is still trapped inside of you, shut down. So she's like, oh my God, what if when we show up to be our greatest self, somebody needs to shut us down? That's the disappointment. So be sure to look on the website and look at SarahSpiritual.com and scroll down till you get to the work of soul integration. Although I know we'd have a grand time doing a general reading as well, but whatever resonates with you. But I know eventually it benefit you so much if you, like our caller Amy from LA, did some soul integration work, because it will just be the most freeing thing. And we use the work with the 12 archangels, known as Theo, and we integrate and we find those fragments and we bring you to the future, so that whatever business you're putting together, we don't have that fear factor. We've got that faith factor, and we just know like we know everything's always working out for you.
Beautiful. Awesome. I'll be in touch. Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate it.
My pleasure, and thank you, Candace, for picking up the call in your soul and picking up the phone and joining us here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. I'm sure we'll talk again. Bye for now.
Yes. Bye.
866-972-7247. Write that number down. We look forward to connecting with you next Wednesday night for our show. And then again on June 28th, well, every Wednesday night we're here, right? Who are we kidding? But June 28th, that's our big celebration show. So we'd love to have you be our guest and one of our VIP members to be entered in our grand prize winning. Be sure to check the website in a couple of days and Facebook, and we will be posting all the details. Love to see you there. We'll talk about it more next Wednesday. For this moment, we are complete. We greatly appreciate your sharing your time with us, your vulnerability. We appreciate all that you are and you're listening every Wednesday night. For this moment, good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
And we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.